Hey everyone, Chief Meteorologist Matt Hines here. It is 9 o'clock and time for an update on our winter storm here on Facebook. We'll allow for this to populate a little bit as people start joining, getting kiddos in bed, maybe get in bed yourself and wanting to know the latest that is going to be happening here across the area. I'm going over the latest model data actually as of right now. And as I mentioned yesterday, one of our best cold air models is called NAM. And yesterday it was quite a bit warmer than what it has today for Saturday, which means that the cold front is faster. The freezing air probably will get here faster, which is common with these Arctic fronts. So it does appear everything may speed up cold air wise. That's not good because we may have to increase amounts of winter precipitation if this trend continues for the entire area, and that's something we don't want to do. So let's go ahead, take this full screen right now and show you where we are. Again, we're into that 1 to 2 day time frame now where it's time to start really getting into the forecast, starting to hone down in what it will be and how much we will see across the area. And I am starting to get more convinced that this is probably going to be a significant winter event across the area starting Saturday, but really going Saturday night into Sunday morning. We do have an extreme cold warning in effect, and it now includes our hill country counties of Burnett down to Georgetown and down toward the Austin area as well. This has just been issued by the National Weather Service out of Austin, San Antonio to join what's been issued for Waco, Temple, and Killeen. It does not include the Brazos Valley yet and Bryan College Station, but we'll see if that is forthcoming. Wind chills could be near zero, especially as we head into Monday morning, when lows will get into the upper single digits and teens across the area. And with a north wind at 10 to 20 miles per hour, it'll be really cold by the end of the weekend going into early next week. But before that, we have to get through the precipitation. We still have a winter storm watch in effect that does include Bryan College Station and down toward the Houston area. I am going to anticipate that's getting upgraded by tomorrow morning to a winter storm warning, joining the rest of us who are under a winter storm warning. Now, this can be issued up to 48 hours before the event begins, and I don't think the event really gets going winter-wise until we reach Saturday. Tomorrow is a rain day across the area and actually pretty mild. Temperatures into the 50s for a lot of us, but then the cold air will arrive late Friday night going into Saturday. So as we get into Friday, everything will be well above freezing. In fact, it will be way above 33. We'll be into the 50s. So wet roads for tomorrow, wet roads for Friday night. I don't think anything will happen till after sunrise on Saturday. So that's some good news there. At least we're just talking about wet roads the next 24 hours. Then as we get into late Saturday morning going into Saturday afternoon, temperatures will be falling into the 29 to 32 degree range across the area. This is where we will start to see some bridges and overpasses start to get some ice, patchy ice on surface roads as well, especially secondary roads that don't get well traveled. Then as we make our way into Saturday evening, Saturday night, and Sunday morning, temperatures plummet below 29 degrees down into the low to mid 20s. And with that, and with heavy precipitation, I'm expecting significant icing Saturday night into Sunday. And then whatever's on the ground Sunday, we don't get above freezing, so that goes right into Monday as well. So that could definitely impact schools. That could impact your work. So if you have your laptop, bring it home for the weekend, or don't, and maybe just say to the boss that you forgot it. Let's take a look at our winter weather potential. Now, this is as of looking at the latest guidance. And again, I told you I may have to increase chances if other guidance continues to come in with colder air getting here faster. So as of right now, again, preliminary, we'll go 1/4 to 1/2 inch of freezing rain in the blue area. This is basically Highway 84 north. I do think this is where we're going to see the most significant impacts with this winter storm. From Fairfield to Mexia to Waco to Gatesville to just north of Lampasas to San Saba. And I think sleet could be a big part of this as well. In general, an inch of sleet, we could see some 2+ inch totals because looking at the latest guidance, we may get some thunderstorms to go along with this as we go into Saturday night and Sunday morning, which would increase the amounts. So that'll be something that we keep a close eye on. Farther to the south, I know I say lighter amounts, but you will still have impacts, and they could be quite significant with 1,500s to 3,500s now of an inch of freezing rain, as it looks like the freezing line's going to make it through faster on Saturday. Probably less than an inch of sleet. I think a lot of this is going to be freezing rain across the southern half of central Texas, and of course, trees, power lines, power disruptions all across the area will be possible, especially the longer you're in a freezing rain. If you switch over to sleet, that's good news for trees and power lines. That doesn't collect on trees and power lines. The bad news is that coats the roadways with ice. So all in all, it's not really good news here across the area. The only thing I have for you is we're going to get about 1 to 2 inches of liquid precipitation out of this, and we do need that for the drought. Let's take a look at what's going to be anticipated as we make our way through tonight into Friday morning. Drizzle, that's already developing across the area, areas of fog and some light showers as well. As we get into the afternoon hours and in the evening on Friday, I think we become more of a general rain across the area. Then after that, it stays rain. This is 5 o'clock Saturday morning. So we stay rain here across the region, but then we start to see the freeze line quickly make its way south. And by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I anticipate the freeze line from Bryan College Station over toward Georgetown. So anywhere north of that, which is most of the area, we will start to see more freezing rain than anything else. Then we will transition to freezing rain and sleet as we head into Saturday evening going into Sunday morning. And folks, look at this. Look at these deep purples blowing across the area. Again, that could be some thunderstorm activity along with this. So significant amounts of ice are possible, especially Saturday evening, Saturday night, going into Sunday morning. So that's what we have for you on that front. But for tomorrow, temperatures upper 40s for Hillsboro in the morning, 50 for Waco, and mid 50s down to the south. Tomorrow's highs not really going anywhere, just kind of holding steady throughout the day tomorrow. So that is what we are anticipating here across the area. Again, we're going to continue to watch this very closely, as this is going to be the main thing we're going to be watching here is, does the cold air get here a little faster? Right now, I think the answer is yes. It gets here faster, more into the morning to early afternoon hours on Saturday, which would increase the amounts of freezing rain. I think it'll be scattered activity during the day Saturday, but again, by the time we reach Saturday night into Sunday morning, the main storm system will come across, and that's when I think we'll have the most significant icing across the area. And remember, it's not just us. It's also up to the north. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the desk here. Just keep it on full screen there, Hannah, for a second, and we'll just show you how wide-ranging this is. So you can see our winter storm watch and our winter storm warning right there. I zoom out. Folks, this is going to be significant. The pink area, that is a winter storm warning. That goes all the way up to Kansas City, all the way down to San Antonio. Houston will likely be under a winter storm warning as well. That goes all the way to the east toward Nashville, Tennessee, and into parts of the Ohio Valley, southern Ohio, all the way up near Cincinnati, then all the way back through West Texas and eastern New Mexico. So why am I showing you this? A, by Saturday, do not travel north, do not travel west at all. Don't do it. As we get into Saturday night and Sunday, the entire area, do not travel. It's probably going to be quite icy across the region. As far as flights are concerned, I would expect tons of cancellations this weekend. They're already starting, so if your flight's not canceled, it will be severely delayed. So you're just going to have to really be patient if you have any travel plans for the weekend, as it looks like it is not going to be good. Dallas-Fort Worth will probably get even more than what we see. Some models are kicking out over 3 inches of sleet across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. That is a crippling ice storm. So we will be watching that. Oklahoma City could see 8 to 12 inches of snow. Amarillo, 8 to 12 inches of snow. Lubbock, about half a foot. Midland, ice and snow. Little Rock, Up in the northern parts of Arkansas, some folks may be picking up 1.5 feet of snow across northern parts of Arkansas into Missouri. This is going to be a massive, widespread winter storm, and wouldn't you know, we get to be a part of it here with the rest of the south central and central U.S. And then that will continue into the northeast, which will provide a huge snowstorm up there as we make our way into early next week, more Monday and Tuesday across the big cities of the Northeast, Boston, New York, down toward Washington, D.C. So that is going to encompass 150 to 200 million people in this winter storm. And that's why you see on the national news that this is, quote unquote, a significant, quote unquote, a historic storm, just because of the size of this major winter storm. For us here, I'm not going to say historic or anything like that, but I am going to say significant to major icing will be possible as we get into late Saturday, Saturday night, and Sunday morning before the precipitation comes to an end as we get into the afternoon hours. And it's going to be cold as well. Remember, this is extreme cold warning. Wind chills by Sunday morning, probably in the single digits. Wind chills by Monday morning, probably down near 0, and officially going a low of 9 degrees Monday morning. Brr. I wish I had some better news for you. If you like winter weather, this is going to be for you. If you like winter weather, you're going to love this. But unfortunately, I do think it's going to come with major travel disruptions. I do think it's going to come with possibly power disruptions as well. We've been looking at ERCOT. It looks like we're going to have the supply for energy, but if we get a lot of freezing rain over sleet, and that's still yet to be determined, but if this was more of a freezing rain event than sleet, that gets on power lines. And I remember, a ½ inch of freezing rain on a power line adds 500 pounds of pressure. And that's when you really start to see power lines fall. So you can have the energy, but if you don't have a way to get it to your house, that could be the problem. So that's why there's going to be a lot of people on standby working and hopefully keeping the power on here across the area. But I can't guarantee that the power is going to stay on everywhere across our area, just because of the sheer amounts of precipitation we could see across the region. So I am talking this up just a little bit more than what I was yesterday. It still could change. Remember, the track of the storm could go a little farther north. We see lighter amounts. Things would be okay. I still think over the next 24 hours, we're going to see changes. But if it goes farther south and the cold air continues to get here faster, then we will likely have to increase the amounts of ice we are talking about here for us. So hopefully this answered some questions for you. Yes, I do think, though, if everything comes to fruition, which most of the models say it's going to now, they're pretty much locking in, I think it's probably pretty good that Monday is going to be scarce for people going out to work and school the way it looks right now. If, again, something wacky happens and this happens to track farther to the north, then obviously that can change. But I think that's about a 20% chance now that we're not going to see much. I think there's an 80% chance we're going to see quite a bit here across our area. So again, we play with percentages here, but an 80% chance, if you're at the blackjack table in Vegas, you're probably going to play those odds. So make sure you're prepared. I know a lot of the store shelves have been emptied. Let's just get 1 to 2 more days and not a whole week's worth of grocery. You're not going to need a whole other week's worth. Just what you usually get plus 1 or 2 days. That should get you through this, because by Tuesday, I think we're back above freezing and everything should be okay by then. But we're going to have to deal with some extreme cold with this. Temperatures falling into the 20s Saturday night. Temperatures falling into the teens by Sunday morning. Temperatures only in the mid-20s Sunday afternoon, and then falling to the single digits to low teens as we head into Monday morning. So that'll be part 2 of this system, is the very cold air that will be in place. But we're going to continue to track this closely for you. And of course, in about 45 minutes, I'll have the latest coming up on KXXV and KRHD, and we'll continue to update you with this. But that's what we have for now for you. Again, prepare for a winter storm here across the area. If you have a generator, that's good news. Remember, don't try to keep it in an enclosed area though. Watch out for carbon monoxide. If you have a space heater, watch out for fires. Keep it away from things. This is how people get injured in winter storms. So again, carbon monoxide, big deal. Don't start your car in the garage and leave the garage door closed. I know that sounds like something we shouldn't do, but people do it, and then they die from carbon monoxide because they're trying to stay warm. So again, let's not have any of that happen. We've been through this. We're going to get through this one together as well. But it does look like that we will have that potential. So tomorrow, just to briefly conclude here, tomorrow is rain. Saturday's the day of transition from rain to freezing rain and sleet. It becomes heavy Saturday night into Sunday morning. Sunday into Monday, likely very treacherous across the area. Of course, meteorologist Josh Johns will be here in the morning to give you the latest and probably starting to track some rain. So it will be wet tomorrow. Make sure you have the raincoat. Could be a little fog as you head out to work and school on your Friday as well. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more as needed.